Hi, I'm Hazel. It is once again Saturday, making it once again time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I have been up to, and answer some of your questions. I did take a week off. I was down with a smidge of the flu last week, but we're back and we're better. This week, the Eastern Kingdom's dragon races are now up and available, and they will continue to be up until October the 17th, so we've got a couple more days to go. This is another chance to earn the same rewards that were available last time, including the Drake Racer's Silk Transmog, and they've also added some more Drake Watcher's manuscripts to the vendor. So get out there, get racing, especially if you're collecting achievements, or you just need to have all of the Drake Watcher customization options. Eastern Kingdom's races have a couple more days to go before they rotate out. It's an event that will come back again at some point, but if you want to do it, there's no time like the present. Unless the present is after October the 17th, in which case I'm very sorry. Other things recently, they have announced the BlizzCon digital goodie packs. There are 2 tiers of them, and these are all cosmetic things for Blizzard games. It's important to know that you do not need to buy these in order to watch the convention. All of the convention streams are going to be free. These packs are just for the cosmetics. So there is a toy in the WoW one, a banner toy that also puts a cosmetic banner on your back. There is a Ysera murloc pet, and then there is a Blizzard mount, with the mount requiring the more expensive version of the bundle, but the pet and the toy are in the cheaper version of the bundle. If you're excited about the Ysera murloc pet, you might be interested to know that she has a special animation that she will do if you target her and type /sleep. Only mildly distressing. I ended up treating this as kind of a gold sink and getting a bunch of WoW tokens and then converting those into balance to buy it, because I suppose I needed something to do with my gold. And speaking of things to do with your gold, in 10.2 news on the PTR, we now have a permanent augment rune, which is both a news piece of itself and also an indication that 10.2 and the Emirdasul raid seems to be the last major tier of the expansion. As far as the augment rune goes, it's going to set you back a pretty 100,000 gold. But at current rune prices of like 1,600 gold per rune, you could use 62-ish runes before breaking even on this one. However, bear in mind when you're doing that math that rune prices very well may fall when 10.2 comes out, because as people buy the Perma augment runes, the demand for consumable ones should fall. I usually like to get the permanent augment runes even when the math does not check out in terms of it being worthwhile versus just buying the consumable ones, just because I know myself and I won't use consumable ones if I can feel myself spending hundreds of gold every time I wipe whenever I click one. But 100k, even with Dragonflight inflation, is definitely not nothing, so this is going to be a budgeting decision for people in 10.2. News-wise, that is more or less the gist of it. They did put a Warcraft Rumble promotion in where you can get some toys and then some customizations for those toys to promote the release of their latest mobile game. Wowhead has a guide on that if you want to go run around and get all of those things. I think they are officially in saving up news for BlizzCon mode because we are less than a month away from that, and if they have anything really juicy to tell us, well, I would wait until everybody's watching the stage, if it were me. And then in my life lately, I spent some time under the weather recently, which meant staying home and playing lots of games and taking lots of naps. I played a lot of hardcore classics, surprisingly a comfy homesick play, and then I also started my Animal Crossing island again for the 3rd time because the early game is more fun. I have not had any. In Hardcore Classic, I have not had any further deaths yet. My Warlock is 37, my Hunter is 30, but I have an alt problem apparently because I, for inexplicable reasons, have made an undead rogue that I'm messing around with that I have named Meowita. My headcanon for her is that she is an undead bodybuilder who is experimenting with various ways to build muscle via stabbing as exercise, because you can do it from all kinds of different angles and with different weapons. And she has yet to come to terms with the fact that she is decaying. So there's some turmoil in her future. And then questions for this week's news video. Kenneth wants to know, is there a webpage where you can look at other realms' auction house prices? Pet collector here, so want them as cheap as possible. Yes, it is called Undermine.exchange, formerly Ouroboros Exchange. Just a piece of trivia. You can look up your pet of choice on this page, and then if you keep scrolling down, you're going to get to this list here that shows you all of the realms that have that pet, as well as their prices and quantities. For example, if we look up Skarn, which is the snake pet that drops from a Zerlich Caverns rare, Looks like the cheapest one that is available is on Firetree North America at 30k gold. You can use this website to browse for cheap pets to buy, a rare transmog that you've been trying to get a hold of, and then with the help of either a friend or a second account, you could move gold over to your target realm, and then bada bing, bada boom. It's good stuff. And then that one, Carissa asks, I want nothing more than to be a transmog pet mount collector. I find all the things overwhelming and unintuitive. Do you have any recommendations for either ways to make ATT less overwhelming or add-ons that fulfill a similar task? So I will run you through my basic all the things settings because I struggled with it. I actually uninstalled it a couple of times before I got really into it. I had the same problem. What I did that made it feel better for me was, first of all, to go into the settings and to turn off anything that you're not collecting. So if there's any of these categories that you're not really interested in, disable them at will, and that will make your whole list more manageable. If you are only collecting transmog that can be worn in your current character, say you're a priest and you don't really care about plate mog, make sure that you've turned account mode off. And then under features, I unchecked all of these settings so that none of it automatically opens, because nothing stressed me out more than wandering into a zone and having all the things be like, hey, you're missing stuff. Sucks to suck. The last part's just my brain, but after unchecking all of that so it never loaded automatically, I went into key bindings and set a hotkey to pull up my mini list, and then I later added more keybinds for different parts of the program, but having just a mini list hotkey helped me a lot because this means that all the things does not call me. I call all the things. It will not bother you until you tell it to, which is a much better frame of mind. Now I can hit that button and it will show me a list of things that I need from the zone that I'm in, and this is the best add-on that I've found specifically for figuring out what transmog you need from a given place or instance. I used to use Minar's Wardrobe Helper, and that was good for stuff from dungeons, but all the things covers like all of the sources. So you can zone into, for example, like an LFR wing and see that maybe you need this piece of gear from this boss, that piece of gear from that boss, and you have kind of like a checklist of exactly what you're looking for, as well as a progress meter of how close you are to finishing that. It is less good at telling you where to start for collecting, unless you're using the all the things random feature, where it just gives you a random thing. But for showing you what you still need from a given area, it's really good. So for mount and pet collecting then, you can use all the things in exactly that same way, and it will categorize and track mounts and pets. But sometimes all I want is just to kind of browse a nicer interface showing me what I do and don't have for those things. And for that, I don't actually use add-ons, I use websites. There's two in particular I want to show you. This first one here is Simple Armory. I use this all the time on stream, and this lets you look up your character. You don't have to download anything, you just punch in your character. It'll break down your collection by expansion and source. So you can use it to see, for example, your mount collection. It'll have these different sections here for each expansion, and you could look up, for example, let's see what Dragonflight rare mounts that I might not have. Clicking on any of these boxes will open the Wowhead link to give you more information and ideas on how to go about farming it. I really clicked with this as a way to kind of pick out a project to work on, and without getting too overwhelmed by all the other things that I'm not ready to look at yet. It was nice and easy to kind of look at something that I was in the mood for, see, hey, I don't have one of these, and then to go after it. The other website that I'll tell you about, and I know this is a lot, the other website is Data for Azeroth. It can also track things that you do and don't have, like Simple Armory, but what Data for Azeroth is really great at is tracking your progress and ranking your collections against other people on your server, which can be really motivating just to see your number going up. I can see what percentage of mounts I have and where that mount collection puts me in my server rankings, and then like how many more I would need to move up a spot if I click in to see the rankings and see who I'm competing with there. It can rank your transmog collection. It can rank things like quests completed. It's a lot. That is a big project. That has the potential to keep you busy for the rest of your life if you need it to. So again, I would kind of recommend just focusing on the parts that interest you and then willfully blinding yourself to the rest of it. But Data for Azeroth is another great resource for checking out your collections outside of the game. And that is what I've got for this week. I have a feeling we're going to have two more kind of recreational Saturday news videos before we get into the meat of the BlizzCon news. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you want to hang out on stream, I stream Wednesdays through Sundays, 9 a.m. Pacific to like 11 or 12-ish a.m. Pacific, short streams, and I do post them all on YouTube after they're done. So I stream live on Twitch, and then the VODs land on YouTube. I will link all of that in the description. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions for a news video, please pop it in the comments and include the word question to help me find it. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.